Good evening, this is AJ reporting for Robin's Fanatics TV on today's FA Trophy third qualifying round tie at home to Cray Valley Paper Mills. Cray Valley Paper Mills are currently sitting in 10th place in the Eastern South East Division, and Carshalton Athletic are currently sitting 18th in the Eastern Premier Division, although we've only played 7 league games so far this season, so it probably looks worse than it actually is. As for team news, there was 2 changes from last week's defeat at home to Havant and Waterlooville in the FA Cup. Carshalton put in a really good performance, but just wasn't enough. Havant were more clinical with their finishing and went away and went through to the next round with a 2-0 victory, and they got Weymouth at home in the next round. But back to today, Carshalton made 2 changes from that team. A couple of players have been released from the Robins this week. Vince Bowler and Brad Pearce have both left the club after being released. They were, and Tom Bigg came in for Gus So after serving his suspension from the red card against Hastings, and Lee Hamlin came in for Bradley Pearce. Carshalton didn't get off to a great start. It was a bit scrappy, and we sort of were giving the ball away. But and we had Danny Bracken, I think, for keeping us in this game. Actually, he made a couple of good saves in the first half. When we were sort of struggling, the defence was not on top of its game today. But to be fair, we hang on and we took the lead. We went 1-0 up on 37 minutes. Femi Akinwande, a lovely volley from about 25 yards out. He turned his defender, fired it home to make it 1-0 to the Robins. But it was only a short-lived lead, as Adam Coombs equalised for Cray Valley on the 43rd minute after firing a shot from a tight angle in off the post to make it 1-1, and Danny Bracken had to make another good save as well to keep the score level pegging. As for the second half, it was both teams had a sort of bit of possession, a little bit of, but it was Carshalton Athletic that took the lead. Took the lead on 72 minutes, and young Matthew Vigor, who we got from Crystal Palace, fired home to give us a 2-1 lead after great work from Walter Figuera. He danced past a couple of defenders and set him up, and he fired it home to make it 2-1. But again, it was a short-lived, and they caught us on the hop and went up the other end 5 minutes later. And Connor Diamond had a shot. He had the initial header, hit the post, hit the player, rebounded back to him, and he fired it back past Danny Bracken to make it 2-2. So that was how it was going to finish. I mean, there's no replay in this competition this season, so we went straight to a penalty shootout. So and in the penalty shootout, Coombs, Cray Valley had the first penalty. Coombs fired home to give them the 1-0 lead. Arthur Lee, who came on as a second half sub, made it 1-1. Barney Williams made it 2-1 to Cray. And Tom Beer, the captain, scored to make it 2-2. And at 2-2, up stepped ex-Robins, Kashani Samuels. And Danny Bracken had psyched him out a little bit and saved his penalty. Good save. He fired it and he saved it. So still 2-2. Bradley Williams then came up, fired home to give us a 3-2 lead. We sort of, the next up was Ibrahim for Cray Valley Paper Mills, and he fired it home to make it 3-3. Ollie Cook stepped up for our 4th penalty and fired it home to make it 4-3 to Carshalton Athletic. And in the final penalty fell to Adiemo, but it was not a great penalty actually. Adiemo, who come on as a second half sub, fired it wide. Bit of a strange one that, and the penalty was already the spot, and he just literally ran up and took it. Didn't place the ball on the spot or anything. It was a bit of a weird one. but yeah, he fired it high and wide. So Carshalton Athletic overcame their southeastern counterparts to win 4-3 on penalties. So we're through to the first round now of the FA Trophy, which I believe will be drawn on Monday. But overall, to be fair, I mean, it wasn't the best performance from Robins. First half, we seemed to be giving the ball away a lot, and you know, not closing them down enough. If it had been a better team and with better finishes, they could well have been trailing. But Danny Bracken had to pull off a couple of really good saves. But we sort of held on, and then then we went through eventually. So yeah, but like I said, it wasn't a great performance. I think especially the first half. First half was poor, really, by our standards. And then I think Steve McKim might let them know about it at half time. They came out in the second half with a bit more purpose. Made a couple of substitutions, and Matthew Vigor came on. He came on for Tommy Bradford, which, to be fair, we thought was a bit of a strange one, actually, because we thought until then other players weren't having such a great game. But Tommy Bradford was the second player to be subbed. Sam Movember was subbed at half time, and Arthur Lee took his place after he picked up a bit of an injury. But Matthew Vigor came on, you know, I think made his sort of debut for the Robins. So he was on the bench last week, but he played really well, actually. He had a really good game, looked useful, and he took his goal really well, which was well set up by Walter Figueira to give us the lead. But of course we went to sleep, and you know, they equalised right near the end. But the second half performance was better. We did look strong, and then fell away a little bit near the end of it. But it wasn't a vintage Carshalton's performance, to be fair. I mean, they didn't play that well, and to be taken away to penalties. I was quietly confident, actually, because I've seen Danny Bracken in goal. I've seen him because he was in goal for Corinthian Casuals last season when they knocked us out on penalty, and he has a habit of psyching out opponents, and I think it worked, especially with Kashani Samuels. So yeah, and we went through. So yeah, really pleased with that. I mean, like I say, the draws on Monday, and we just see what we get there. But we need to really get back into league action, because we've only played 7 games in the league. I mean, and other teams around us have played 8, 9, 10, even 11 games. So we're right behind in our league campaign, having a couple called off. So, but we're back in league action on Monday with quite a few home games to come in the next month or so. But on Monday night we're at home to third place Averley. So hopefully we can get back into some kind of form for the league games, because we're currently sitting 5th from bottom, which is a little bit of a concern. But considering we've only played 7 games, and like I said, teams around us have played 8, 9, 10, hopefully we can sort of pull out. But it's going to be a tough game, Averley. Games against Averley always seem to be tough matches, and we seem to be a Monday night as well. So yeah, that's it from me. I don't know if I'll do a vlog Monday. I'll probably roll it in with the vlog I do next Saturday for the home game against Corinthian Casuals. I'll probably do 2 in 1. So yeah, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I know these home vlogs don't have goal highlights or match highlights, but I always say this, I do appreciate you if you're still watching this. Thank you very much, and I will be back. I'm going to watch Kingstonian versus Brighton Sea Regent on Wednesday, so I might do a vlog for that one. But if not, I'll be back next Saturday for a double vlog from the Averley and the Corinthian Casuals game. So until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with me, and I will see you next week. So until then, sayonara.